you decided you wanted to do what?
A visualization challenge.
Visualization challenge. Now, in your own words, what is visualization?
So I would say what I'm trying to do is like set a time to sit down, not do anything else, and just put my mind into a very specific place, probably imagery involved, and keep it there for just a little bit. Or maybe go through a little list of things that I have, all the different areas I'm trying to like firm up in my inner space and make them a complete part of me. And if I can do that consistently for days, maybe it'll work. Maybe not.
Yeah, and we're going to find out.
Yeah.
So with the visualization, are you doing it solo? Or are you going to do some sort of like guided kind of like meditation type thing that you find on like YouTube or like a meditation app?
Solo. Because I'm going to do specific things that I want to like almost download into my brain like Neo. But more like mindsets because I don't have the helicopter program ready for that yet.
Yeah.
And but I could also, I use like a vision board. It's actually just one of those little picture frame dealies. And instead of like pictures of my family, it's like pictures of stuff I want and like stuff I'm trying to like program in. So I'll update the vision board with some new things.
Yeah, cool. Well, let's talk about what specifically, if anything, it is we're going to like visualize. So I would say, where are you now? Because I think an important part of this that I don't want people to like get the misconception of is just like visualization is this big like reach for something different because we're not happy with where we are now. I think like gratitude, being grateful, like gratitude with what we have now is like very important. It's like a big part of it. But I would say my question for you is like, in terms of visualization, using that as our lens here, where are you now? And what are some of the things like specifically that you want to reach? Like whether that be a goal for like an external situation or like internal situation.
Okay, so I think a lot of it is going to be mindset. So like just leveling up the mindset in different areas so that it's more automatic, it's more built in. And so just as an example, so like in the comedy section of my life, there's like things that can just be ingrained a little bit more. So like just feeling funny. If you're not feeling funny, you're not funny. So like, can you feel funnier? Can you feel that funniness more consistently? What would that feel like to just kind of like maximize that and level that up? There's different kind of tropes or types to play that like the more you get them in your body, like the better you can play like the idiot, the clown, the drunk, the whatever. If it's not as foreign to you, you have more access to it, increase the funny. So that's like just the comedy pie.
Oh, okay. So basically with visualization, like, cause you do a lot of comedy and I'm so excited to get into that. And I'm very tempted right now just to dive right into it right now. But what I like to do, so just kind of peeling the curtain back a little bit on this channel, like I like to do the long form podcast, but then I clip out portions of the podcast. And I find like when I go back to edit, if I get too sidetracked, it doesn't make for as good of a clip. So I try to keep the sections of what we're talking about condensed and consolidated. So we're going to talk about all your like ventures.
Plus the YouTube chapters have to be.
Exactly. The chapters got to be on point too. And it says like pet peeve here. We talk pet peeves and we do recommendations. Pet peeve here, content creating, like there's an option that says like, do you want AI to do like automatic chapters for you? And I always select yes, but it never gives me the automatic chapters. I assume that when I do that, it would be like dive into the pod and do like step by step. But like, God, doing chapters, I haven't really dove into it yet. It just seems so tedious. Yeah. But yeah. So you're thinking like, so you do a lot of comedy, like on stage, behind the camera, or in front of the camera. So you're thinking like visualizing, like, and actually feeling what that feels like to be in a funny space will increase like your efficiency at being funny. Is that what I'm gathering?
It's basically like a growth mission. A little bit of using visualization to accelerate the inner growth and things. Yeah. And awareness too, I guess, because if you're not if you're more aware of what's working and what's not working, or you just try to level up one area a little bit, you probably notice when you're not on the ball and you can self-correct a little better. So I'm hoping it's just like a self-perpetuating thing that I've never been able to get myself to sit down and just do.
Yeah.
But I do have to like feel it because like part of the problem is I'm not good at visualization. I don't like the pictures I have access to are like, they're kind of fuzzy. They're not like as crisp as other people's. And I know that's like a range. Some people are like, I can see 360. I see the blueprint. I see it all. And then some people are like, I see nothing. I see black. And people are different like that. So I'm somewhere in the middle where if I focus on like getting the feeling, that's better for me.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've never been a big like 360. Let me fix your mic actually a little
Sure,
bit.
yeah.
Let's get it a little closer to
Oh,
Is that
let's eat it.
yeah, just like take a bite out of that phone. My kid does sometimes when he wanders in here. So I found this like study as I was kind of diving into the visualization thing, and it kind of highlights like what we're talking about here. So I think another misconception with this visualization stuff that I've actually held too, but I think just widely, is that like visualization equals like we think about something, we're going to obtain it. Like The Secret, like if you think about something, you'll bring about it in your life. And I don't think that's the meaning behind it. So here's a study that. So it was like the 1990s. They took 3 groups of people. They called them Group A, Group B, and Group C. Just regular people, not like athletes, not trained in anything. But they had Group A, Group B, and Group C come in and shoot some free throws, play some basketball, just shoot some free throws. And then they stopped and they said, okay, go on about your lives for 30 days. Group A, 1 hour a day, you come in, you physically practice free throws. Group B, you do nothing at all. Don't do anything. Group C, we want you to visualize.
Only think about it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Only think about it in your mind. Like you said, the 360 practice in just your mind, not just like the motion, but like the feel of the ball, the color of the ball going in, most importantly, but like the feeling of accomplishment. Just visualize and do like the full 360, 4-dimensional, like all the shapes, all the colors, whatever. So they had him go do that for 30 days, and the results were pretty astounding. The Group A came back and they noticed a 24% increase in free throws made from the first time they came in. 24%. Group B, 0% increase. They stayed the same. Group C, who just did the visualization, 23% increase. So I think what that tells us is like, it can't just be all one or the other, but it does have a tremendous impact, like by itself, but also like when we pair it. So like the clearer that we can visualize it, typically the easier it is to trudge up the feelings and actually take the action towards the goal. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And that helps me a lot because all of the little aspects, the feel of the ball, is something I'll have to build into what I'm visualizing, and I wasn't really thinking about it that deep.
Yeah. It was a pretty cool study. And like I've been kind of back and forth on the whole thing because I love stories like the Jim Carrey story about like visualization and how he wrote himself like the $10 million check and saw him cashing the check. And then he gave himself, I think, 5 years. And then it was like the week before the expiration date of the check.
Yeah.
Dumb and Dumber happens and he
Yeah.
gets $10 million,
Yeah.
which, man, that would have been a good transition to Jeff Daniels because I know you've done some Purple Rose stuff.
Were you hoping I would come in here and be like a manifestation master? Like, I will think it and it will be.
Yes, I was hoping
I was
going to
hoping too I could do that, but I don't know if I can.
What I was hoping is we were going to have to get these cameras like to elevate with us because we weren't even going to be like physically
We'll just levitate
sitting in the chair.
in this room, man.
Yeah. Do you meditate on a regular basis?
I used to. Yeah. I had meditation classes in college somehow. I guess I had a pretty cake schedule.
Yeah.
But really it was like 45 minutes. If you get there, you sit on the thing in a circle with everyone else and just pure silence and get good at it. And it was day after day after day. And you had to do homework with it too. So I meditated a lot.
Yeah.
I almost got like superpowers. I was almost a levitation mode.
That's amazing. That's amazing. It does kind of quiet your brain though. For me,
yeah.
I find when I meditate regularly, and I'm the same way, I'm up and down, I try to, but I have a longer fuse in life. Like I have my patience muscle, like is probably the biggest thing that grows.
Yeah. The reaction side of you just tamps down. And I would get where, like, you're walking to class and it's freezing and you're like, oh, this sucks, whatever. I got to the point where it's like, oh, I feel the cold, but I have no reaction to the cold. I didn't care at all. And I was like, wow, meditation is nuts.
Yeah. Just allow it to be cold rather than like tensing up and like, shivering and being like, oh, this sucks. We'll just allow the cold to be.
And then one time, because I went to school on the west side of the state at Western Michigan University, and it's pretty close to Lake Michigan. And I went out on a lighthouse one day in January, and there's the ice flows on Lake Michigan. The wind is whipping, so it's really cold, but it's really pretty. It's probably pretty dangerous to be out there and doing what I was doing, but I was in college, so I didn't care. And I was like, it's really cold, and my hands are really cold. I think I should take off my gloves. And that's what I thought, right? And so I just took off my gloves, felt the cold, and my hands got really warm. Not in like hypothermic sense, but like they actually got really warm. And I was like, meditation, pretty badass.
Yeah.
And that's as far as I got with the superpowers.
Okay. Well, that sounds like a superpower to me.
Yeah, it was cool. Not that I can do that still, but it happened like twice. I was able to replicate it one other time.
Add it to your visualization and, it's going to only warm up, but keep it in your visualization practice. And then when you come back in 40-ish days, we'll be like, you can like on command control your whole body temperature.
I could try. I really don't think that's enough time for me to be able to get any of those powers.
Yeah.
And I never could control my whole body temperature.
Yeah.
But maybe for you, I'll try it.
Please do.
Yeah.
I can't wait. So we talked about like the comedy pie, like the visualization of the comedy pie. Is there anything like in your visualization that you planned like achieving like in terms of like external? Like are you planning on in your visualization being like, I'm going to see myself walking across the stage at the Oscars 2026 because I'm going to land myself one of them damn awards?
No.
Okay.
I feel like I've led myself into a lot of disappointment trying to think that way.
Yeah.
And so like the most tangible, like direct outcome related thing I have is the deep squat. To bring it full circle because I never really could. And I think my body, like, it lost that ability and it just doesn't want to get it back. But I want it back.
Yeah.
And I feel like visualizing it will help me get there.
Okay. Well, let me practice. So on camera here, I'm going to hop off the mic. So deep squat, I want to make sure I have the motion down. So we just go like, are we talking about like, because I know like squat, we're talking like further down?
Yeah, like just be able to be in a full squat and keep the heels on the ground.
Full squat, keep heels on ground. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry I'm moving around the mic so much, listener. I hope it's
like
not
you have a lot of mobility. So
I'm not bad. I tried. Oh, no. Now I'm falling.
We used to be so good at this.
I know. I want to see yours.
Oh, it's real
Ready,
bad.
set, go. Yep. And for the Spotify listeners, I'll describe exactly. Okay,
Okay. So see? My heels are like at least a full inch off the ground.
Take your head up. She's balancing.
Yeah.
You got it. You nailed it.
That's not a proper deep squat for sure.
Not proper.
No.
I want to congratulate you. You don't have I've talked about it on this podcast, so whatever. The Michigan accent.
Yeah.
You don't have it.
I don't?
No, you don't have it.
People outside the state think I do.
Really? I don't think so. So like I've come across a couple of like funny phrases that like will totally reveal if you have a Michigan accent. And the one you said not a problem. Normal. I think a lot of people in Michigan would say not a problem.
Not a problem.
Not a problem. Here's one. Go to dickscottdodge.com. Go to .com.
Buy a Dodge at Dick Scott.
Buy a Dodge at Dick Scott. I work with a guy named Scott Kahn, and it's like
Scott Kahn.
Scott Kahn. And I went to high school with a guy named Scott Gossett. And it's like when you say those names and you're from Michigan, like we could tell.
Yeah.
I got called out a lot, and that's the only reason why I kind of noticed it, because I lived in California for a few years, and week one, people are like, what did you say? Because we say pop. Like, not only do we call it pop, but it reveals the accent with the hard
pop.
O, pop. So, like, I remember working at this restaurant, and there was like a beverage station, they called it. But in Michigan, we called it a pop station. Go clean up the pop station. I called it a pop station, and people were like, gave me the side eye. They were like, what did you just refer to it as?
It's such an accurate and like.
I was just like, ugh. So visualization. Was there anything like, because I know you looks like you did some homework. Was there anything that you wanted to like get into and talk about it in regards to like specifics that I haven't asked about yet?
No, just if people are curious what all my topics are, I won't go into like all the things, but you know, physical. What do I want to change physically? And that's mostly the deep squat and the acting. So the acting things I have on here are like what I've been doing lately is just borrowing from the masters and like not even working on technique or process. It's like, no, just going to watch Marlon Brando and then imbue, just osmosis the Marlon Brando and Phil Seymour Hoffman. Two greats, right? How do you go wrong there?
Right.
And I have like a body language part of me that I study that stuff. So a couple things like I want to be able to pick up on more easily and not have to like watch so hard for people's like blink rate or whatever. Just the general higher self things like responding from my higher self and feeling more worthy of opportunities and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And that's it. Just some like higher vibes, energy stuff.
Higher vibes, energy stuff. I love that because that's really the main thing I got when I was diving into the visualization and prepping for this is like, yeah, the misconception that I had before, I don't know how well I articulated it before, but it's like, I always thought like what you think about, you bring about was only half the story. I think like with visualization, what it helps to do is actually tap into not only just like seeing yourself doing it, but feeling yourself doing it. And you bring all that in. And then when you're operating from a place of like, I already have this, then you're giving off like an energy to where like you're more likely to attract it.
Yeah.
Right?
And training yourself to not need it.
Yeah.
Not need anything. Not need the approval, not need the accomplishment, not even needing things to go right, not needing to, get the audition, whatever. Just like that helped me a lot. I feel like I did that a long time ago. Tried to eliminate a lot of that need. And that was great. That's one of the best things someone can do.